It's the story of a fox with 9 tails, and she is very clever and cunning, the national team. And someone is praising Suk to the selectors. That's when we see another boy, Hyan Suk, and he is our male lead, who has scored a goal in a very impressive way. He has caught the selectors' attention. Seeing this, the coach starts bad-mouthing him to the selectors, saying he's a terrible player. He only scored this goal by luck. The coach takes Hyan Suk aside, turns him upside down, and beats him with a stick, asking, "Why did you score a goal? You were supposed to pass the ball to Hyan Suk. Why were you trying to be a hero? Hyan Suk is your friend, yet you don't want him to get selected." Hyan Suk is our hero, by the way, and he also has his own set of problems in his life. On the other side, we see Hyan Suk's dad, who has brought food for everyone and money for the coach. This means he's bribing the coach so that his son gets preferential treatment and is selected to play for the national team. And Hyan Suk is watching all of this, but he's poor. The poor guy can't do anything. Meanwhile, on the other side, we see a big businessman. This is Mr. Lee, who is going to an auction for a project today. But today's project seems to be slipping through his fingers. The manager is explaining everything, but there's no sadness on Mr. Lee's face at all. He's completely confident that he'll get it. It's as if he's already secured the project. A little later, the auction begins. But then something goes wrong, and a girl appears on the screen. Yes, it's Yun, the cunning 9-tailed fox who can win everyone over with a snap of her fingers, and we can see her 9 tails here. Then, after bringing everyone under her control, she tells them to vote for Mr. Lee and get him the project, and everyone does exactly that. On the other side, Hyan Suk is coming home and sees his grandmother lifting weights. Poor grandmother is often sick and old, but he has to work because he has to support Hyan Suk. He tells her, "I scored a goal today. Everyone praised me, and I don't need money. I got a scholarship. I'll take care of everything with that. Don't work hard." But all these things are lies. He works part-time as a delivery boy, and after finishing his delivery work, he finally comes to the ground, where he sees Hyan Suk working hard. Hyan Suk's father admittedly bribes Hyan Suk, but he is also somewhat talented, and the two share the close friendship. Hyan Suk asks, "Hyan Suk, why are you wearing these clothes?" He explains, "I work as a delivery boy." Then they practice for a while. Then they go to eat. Hyan Suk asks him, "Why do you always stay away?" Hyan Suk explains, "I'm poorer than all the other kids at the academy, while everyone else is rich, and I also work part-time. My grandmother is sick, so I have to take care of her too. And you should focus on the game. I saw how you scored today. You should do the same. Otherwise, what will you do if I get selected in your place?" This also gives us the impression that Hyan Suk has no interest in football. He's just doing all this under pressure from his father. Meanwhile, Yun is with Mr. Lee. From their conversation, we learn that Yun works for Mr. Lee and gets paid. In return, Mr. Lee asks her, "How much money do you take? What all can you do? Tell me." Yun says, "Okay, I'll tell you right now." She takes him to the hell. Mr. Lee's face is filled with tears, seeing hell alive. She then takes him to church, then brings him back to the restaurant. He says, "It's fun. Don't ask me what I can do. And yes, I always do wrong things because if I do good work, I'll become human, and I don't like being human at all." The manager then calls Mr. Lee and tells him that they've got the project. Then, wearing those nice, beautiful, rich girl clothes, she comes to a mall because no matter what, a girl, and what do girls do when they have money? She's shopping. Yes, that's what she's come to do. Then, her eyes fall on a girl, and she says, "Hey, girl, be my friend. Stay with me for today. Keep me company. Go shopping with me." The girl asks, "Who are you? Get out of here." Yun takes control of her, snapping her fingers and telling her about herself and shopping. "I'm 9 Tails Fox. Don't be shocked. I've been doing this for years. Everyone asks me questions like you are asking." And then we are shown a scene from 80 years ago. It was during the British rule when they came to Korea to teach their language. They couldn't understand her language, so she changed the teacher's language and created her own. Then the story is shown to take place 30 years later. When the time comes to read comics to create style, she didn't like the ending of the story. The hero had died, so she went to the writer's house, beats him, and told him to change the ending quickly. And the writer did so. So now we come to know that whatever she doesn't like, she changes it according to herself with her own power. Now, at present, the girl says you have no friends. Do you know why? Because you want things according to you? She says, "Hey girl," and then she snaps her fingers and the girl becomes her side. The girl starts praising her. This tells us that if anyone questions her or gives her a reality check, she'll dismiss them and takes them her side. She wants everything to be according to her wishes. Now the girl is praising her, saying, "I want to be like you." Yoon is feeling happy inside after hearing this praise. Here, Hyan Suk is shopping for shoes at the mall when Kang Suk arrives. Hyan Suk says, "You want shoes too? Tell me." Kang Suk says, "Hey, what did I tell you yesterday about my poverty? You're feeling sorry for me. I don't need anything." And then he starts to leave. Then he bumps into Yoon and falls away as if someone pushed him. He wonders how this could happen. Yoon comes and says, "Hey boy, you're so weak. You should stay home. Weak boys shouldn't go out." Just then Hyan Suk arrives and the two boys leave. Then she sees Hyan Suk's future. He's become a big footballer. He's become a very popular celebrity. And seeing this, Yoon becomes greedy, thinking, when he becomes a celebrity, popular and rich, I'll make him my client, take money from him, and help him. Isn't that right? By the way, let me tell you, Yoon kept this girl with her to carry her luggage because she's a fox, a clever fox. Then the girl says, "You can work for me too. You just have to give me a discount." Then, after calming her down, Yoon sends her away, saying she won't carry the luggage herself. So, she tells the staff to pick up the luggage and bring it out. Just then, the lights go out, and an old man named Star God arrives. Then Star God and Yoon are sitting in the restaurant. Yoon asks, "Is this your first time in the human world? There's a rule here that if you come to such a place with someone, you have to feed them. So, buy me some food quickly." This means she's extremely greedy. This is how her character is portrayed. She tries to take advantage of everything because she's very clever. Then Godstar tells her, "I don't know how to do it here." Then he tells her that everyone else has become human now. Only she is left. And now Star God comes to convince her that she too must become human because her time has come. She says, No. I'm very happy making money and shopping. I enjoy it. I won't become human." But Star God says, "Your time is coming, and now you have to choose between becoming human or dying, disappearing." But without listening to him, Yoon picks up her belongings and runs away in anger. Here, the two boys are playing football, and the ball goes flying and hits Yoon on the head. Kang Suk says, "Suk, you go home. I'm going to look for the ball." Here he spots the ball near Yoon, who smashes it on the ground. Kang Suk says, "How did you do this?" She tells him, "You weak boy, nothing will come of you. But yes, the boy who is with you, your friend, he will become a successful celebrity, a very good football player." And here she is cursing him a lot, saying good and bad things about football. Kang Suk says, "Have you lost your mind, girl?" She says, "I'm telling the truth." And when she talks very openly, in such a loud voice. And here, Mr. Lee, overjoyed at winning the project, is driving fast and driving home, hitting Hyan Suk on the road. When Kang Suk hears the sound of his fall, he comes running and witnesses the whole thing. But Mr. Lee quickly gets in his car and flees. Then Hyan Suk is quickly brought to the hospital, and Mr. Lee removes the memory from the dash cam to erase any evidence that the camera recorded everything. Kang Suk arrives at the police station to explain everything. Just then, Mr. Lee's driver arrives and tells them that he caused the accident. Now, Kang Suk recognizes that it's not him, so he grabs him and starts shouting, "You're lying. Who told you to lie? Tell me who he is." And here, Mr. Lee's project has been canceled by the other person because news of his accident has spread, saying that his car caused an accident, and everyone knows he must have done it. So, he's going crazy, and he takes out a wish card and sets it on fire, and he's transported to a strange place. It's Yun's home, and this was a wish card, just like I told you. So now she has to ask for a wish. Yun says, "Tell me, what's your wish?" She then says something that Yun refuses. But Mr. Lee says, "I'll give you double the money." Hearing the mention of money, Yun agrees. And then we see Kang Suk, who comes to visit Hyan Suk at the hospital. Inside the room, he sees Yun sitting there. He asks, "What are you doing here, this crazy girl?" She says, "I've come to jog your memory. You'll forget everything." She starts trying. Then she has another vision. She sees Kang Suk's future, a celebrity, a football player, a huge star. She's shocked because Hyan Suk's future has now been transferred to Kang Suk. In a way, he's taken his luck and Yun's heart starts to ache. Kong Suk catches it, and we see that it has grown 9 tails. Kong Suk is stunned seeing her tails. Oh, what is this? Yun's tail has grown out. Now, Yun throws him away and stands up. Kong Suk asks, Did you see? Did you see a tail growing out of your back? She says, yes, it's mine. What happened? Get out of here, and starts running away quickly. But while trying to cross a wall, she trips and falls. She realizes she's lost her power. She runs away, screaming angrily, and returns to a place to test her power.
But now she's weak.
She goes inside and goes to her gods and starts breaking statues. She says, I want to talk to you. Come in front of me. If no one comes, she's about to break the idols and burn the entire temple down. But then Star God arrives and stops her, restores all the idols, and tells her that she should respect God. That's not right. She says, shut up. Why are my powers diminishing? Tell me, Star God says. I explained it to you before, but you're not listening. Get serious. Now, Yun asks, but what happened? Star God says, because of your wrong decision. A man died because of you. Then, at night, we see Mr. Lee's manager, along with his men, dumping a dead body in the dark night. Who is this? We'll find out in a moment. Meanwhile, Kong Suk is waiting for a bus home when suddenly, Yun approaches him. Where did you come from, this girl? He asks. You weren't here just now. She tells him to shut his mouth and go make a wish. Make a wish for him quickly. Just then, the bus pulls up and leaves. Now, Kong Suk wants to talk to her, but Kong Suk is looking for a cab on his phone because neither a bus nor a cab is available at this time. He's worried about how he'll get home. She says, I can take you, but you have to listen to me. Kong Suk asks, how will you take me? You don't even have a car. She says, you know how to teleport, and takes his hand, and in a second, she teleports to his house. Kong Suk is amazed. He says, that was great. We can go abroad like this. It's free in any country, right? Let's go to Europe. Where can you go? You can't go there. She's triggered. She says, I can go anywhere. I've also been to Germany and Russia and lived there. Even the restaurant owners there recognized me. But then I got bored there, so I came back to Korea. And then Kong Suk holds her hand and says, please, please do that to me again. I was having so much fun. She's happy to hear the compliment, but she pulls her hand back and says, what are you doing? Get out of here. Why are you holding my hand? He says, your hand is so beautiful and attractive. She says, okay, come on, make a wish for me quickly. You can ask for anything. I'll fulfill it. You want me to punish the person who caused your friend's accident? I'll do that too. And here we see Mr. Lee, called to the police station for questioning. Mr. Lee is completely washing his hands off the matter. I didn't do anything, but the police have taken a photo from the CCTV and show it to them. It's clear that right here on the road, he's standing there, having gotten out of the car. Panicked, he runs into the washroom, takes out his wish card, and burns it to try to meet Yun. But in doing so, he's used so many cards, but she doesn't show up. Now Mr. Lee is completely trapped in this case. He goes outside, and the media is all over him. His dad is also calling and scolding him, asking, what the hell did you do? Tell me. He says, Dad, please trust me. I'll fix everything. Just then, the news reports that the dead body of Mr. Lee's driver has been found. It becomes clear to us that the body Mr. Lee's manager was throwing away just last night was that of the manager who had taken the blame for Mr. Lee's accident. Now they've killed him. Suddenly, Yun arrives in the car. Lee asks, why are you doing all this? Don't do this. I'm your client. Yun says, no, you're not my client anymore. You even killed your driver. Because of this, my power has diminished. So now I have to fix everything. She casts a spell on him, ensuring that Lee will always tell the truth. He will tell the truth from the time he was born until today. She then returns the card to the media. Mr. Lee has his hand over his mouth, because as soon as he releases his hands, he will start telling the truth. But how can one control himself in the face of magic? We see that he confesses all his crimes, that he killed his driver, and also confesses to all the crimes he has committed over the years. But the police arrive and arrest him. Here, Yun is at her home, looking at her power scale, which has now been replenished. The scale has returned to balance, meaning she is now powerful again because she has delivered justice. Next, we see that Kong Suk has come here to practice. Just then, Yun brings a yellow suitcase. It's a gift for Kong Suk and she says, keep it. It'll be useful later because you helped me too. He asks, by the way, what are you? She thinks he's asking for her name. She blushes. She says, no, no. I can't tell you my name. Kang Suk says, I'm not asking for your name. Tell me who you are. How did you do all that? He says, I have no interest in knowing your name. She says, guess it. Guess what I am. Kang Suk says, you must be an evil demon. She pretends to be cute. Then she says, guess it now. But he can't guess. Angrily, she says, I'm the one with 9 tails. Kang Suk says, that's why you took out your white tail that day. Then Yin gives him the wish card, but then cuts him off and says, no, no. I have to go somewhere for something important right now, and I don't want anything to disturb me. So she takes the card back. Kang Suk asks, what is this suitcase? What should I do with it? Yin says, you're going to be famous very soon. Kang Suk says, but you were insulting me that night. You were cursing me, saying I'm a loser, weak, and can't do anything. He says, oh, I was just saying that day. Kang Suk says, okay, fine, tell me your name. Then she also tells him her name and disappears. Just then, Lin arrives from the football academy and says, wow, you're all prepared, carrying that suitcase. He asks, what do you mean? Then Lin explains, you're going to the national team. That means you have to go out to play. And Hyan Suk is admitted. So he's going in his place. After that, poor Hyan Suk is desperately trying to recover, as it's going to take him 6 months to recover. And Kang Suk is going to play in his place. Hyan Suk even says, stay in my place, play and make your name shine. Then I'll come and take my place. From here, we see Kang Suk at the airport, and then they take him off to a foreign country. Then we're shown 10 years later, the present day. The exact month or date isn't shown. But so many years have passed, and now she's come to buy a nice sea-facing property. The dealer says, you're so beautiful. How can you be alone here? Suppose a tsunami hits. What will you do? You'll drown in it. She tells him to shut up and tell him how much it costs. He says, it's 12 billion, but you'll get a 1 billion discount. So make it 11. Then she snapped her fingers and said, let's check our bank account. The money has come in, but no money has come in. Now she looked worried. Oh, I've taken a break for so many years. I haven't even done any expense. It seems my savings are gone. And she says, can we do a deal for 10 billion won? Do it for 10 billion won. On the other hand, after so many years, we see that Kang Suk has become the best player. He's led his team to match after match. He's won numerous tournaments, but he's very serious about the game. He doesn't even party with his teammates, nor does he let them. After winning a trophy, players are saying, what an arrogant guy. We'll teach him a lesson. Another player says, no, no. His contract is about to expire, so he'll leave. And then we see him signing a new contract, meaning he's not going anywhere. This news is being broadcast all over Korea, and Korea is feeling very proud that a player from our country is playing so well at the international level. Meanwhile, he's also seen on TV, and seeing him, Yoon remembers him. She says, oh, he's the one who's become such a big star. Here we see Hyan Suk. The poor guy has become poor, very poor. His dad is picking up all his trophies and throwing them in the trash, but they throw them outside the house. Hyan Suk apologizes, saying he hasn't done anything in life. Be a loser. Dad says, Kang Suk was good. That's why he's there today, and you're here. Just then, it starts raining heavily, and they both run quickly, picking up the trophy and bringing it home. Both are exhausted, disappointed, meaning they can't do it. But deep inside, they haven't given up. There's hope somewhere, and there's respect for their trophy. Here, Yoon has come to the store, where every product has Kang Suk's photo on it, and girls are crazy for it. Girls take the one she was picking up, saying, we won't give it to you, get out of here. She says, hey, listen, come here. Tell me how much Kang Suk earns. A girl says, didn't you read the article? It said, he charges 1 billion for an ad. She's shocked and thinks, okay, now I'll make him my client and print a lot of money. Here, Kang Suk is traveling to Korea with her manager, reading her biography. He boards a plane, lands at the airport, and meets his fans outside. Yoon is standing in the crowd, and we see that Kang Suk still has the yellow suitcase she gave him years ago. Then Kang Suk tells Yoon, come get an autograph. Kang Suk doesn't recognize her. Just then, a girl pushes her, and Yoon turns around, and Kang Suk autographs her bag, winks, and walks away. Meanwhile, she uses magic to open Kang Suk's suitcase, causing her belongings to fall out, including her biography. He picks up his photo, which is very large, sketches it, makes a funny face, says, "Take this," and runs away. Kang Suk is left wondering, why did she do this? Who is she? Do I know her? Then we see that a wish card has also arrived in his bag. Here, Hyan Suk has come to the academy. The coach asks, "Why are you back after so long?" He says, "I want to play again. Join back." The coach says, "Look at your age. How old you are. You can't play here. Now it's better to go and get a job somewhere, some small job, and live your life." He is about to leave when Kang Suk texts him, saying, "I've come to Korea. I want to meet you. We'll meet at the same place." That night, we see Kang Suk practicing on the same ground, waiting for Hyan Suk, but Hyan Suk doesn't come because he works as a delivery boy. Kang Suk keeps messaging him, but he ignores them. Then we see Yoon here, having come to get a chair made, or rather, to make it herself. She tells the shopkeeper, "I'll make it," but she says, "You can't do all this." Then we're shown flashbacks to her past years, showing all she's done. She's done a lot of brave things. She's played sports in many places and even joined a cappella group. She had a lot of fun there.
She's talking about her life.
"I've done all this, so I'll make a chair." And then when the ladies give her permission, she starts making a chair. Here, Kang Suk is enjoying the luxury of the rich. When Yoon arrives at home, he is terrified.
Who are you?
"Go away. How did you get here? Look inside. If you're a fan, I'll call the police." "Get out of here." She says, "Hey, your phone is here. Come pick it up and call the police." But how will he come? He gets naked inside that machine. He starts asking for a towel. Then he remembers, oh, it's the same girl. She then magically gives him a towel. Then he comes out and here they both meet each other. Yes, it's the same girl. She says, "So now all your dreams have come true. So come on, become my client and ask me for a wish." Hurry up, Kang Suk. Now he has everything, so he doesn't need any wishes. His dream has come true. So what can I ask now? She says, "Ask for anything about your parents." Kang Suk says, "They died when I was a child. Grandma raised me." She says, "Okay. Ask for your sick grandmother's health." Kang Suk says, No, she died years ago." She says, "Call me when you need me." Then she leaves the wish card and disappears. Kang Suk says, "Look, today." It disappears just like it used to. Now his food has arrived outside. When he goes to get it, he sees Hyan Suk as a delivery boy. Hyan Suk is surprised to see this, but then we see Kang Suk's manager has something for him, which we haven't seen. What it is will be revealed later. Here, Kang Suk asks, "Why are you doing this delivery? Why don't you focus on the game?" Hyan Suk replies, "I don't play anymore. They expelled me from the academy, and we don't even have the money to pay." Kang Suk replies, "Then why didn't you tell me?" Hyan Suk replies, "I was embarrassed." He spots the wish card, picks it up, and asks, "What is it?" Kang Suk replies, "Do you have a wish?" The scene cuts there. Then we suddenly see the scene in a plane where Hyan Suk has become rich. He's on a plane, traveling somewhere, and his biography book falls from his hand. She picks up and hands it to him, and Hyan Suk is astonished. How did I get on a plane? How did I become so rich? And here we learn that the life Kang Suk had been living until now as a popular footballer, and all this popularity and fame has now come to Hyan Suk. On the other hand, we see Kang Suk, who has gone from rich to poor, waking up in his room and wondering, what's happening to me now? Just then, Yoon comes in and asks, "Tell me, how did you sleep?" Kang Suk asks, "What did you do?" She says, "I've fulfilled your wish." Kang Suk replies, "It was Hyan Suk's wish, not mine." "Why did you do this?" She replies, "Look, it was your job to wish, but how I'll fulfill it is up to me." Then we are shown the last day scene where Hyan Suk asked Kang Suk how the card was, and Kang Suk asked, "Do you have a wish?" Hyan Suk asked, "Do you still believe in all this?"
Don't worry so much about me.
Then he congratulated him and left. The next morning, Kang Suk's manager informs him that the company he had signed the contract with has suspended him, and he quickly goes to meet with the manager. The company has defrauded him, and they are not accepting him. Just then, Kang Suk receives a reminder on his mobile phone that today is his grandmother's death anniversary. Here, Hyan Suk also learns about Kang Suk's news. From there, he goes to Kang Suk's grandmother's grave and tells her that Kang Suk won't be able to come because he's a little busy these days. Meanwhile, Kang Suk arrives. The two meet, and from Kang Suk's words, we learn that he immediately left to play football, leaving his grandmother alone. Then Hyan Suk used to take care of Kang Suk's grandmother when she was in the hospital and when she died. He handled everything. Hyan Suk says, "Yes, I was helping you because you weren't here." Kong Suk asks him if he can give him money in return. Hyan Suk says, No, I don't want money. He says, What are you doing here? You should go abroad. Your situation has gone bad there. The company isn't accepting you. Kong Suk says, My manager has already gone there. He takes out his phone, but the wish card falls down. Hyan Suk picks it up and gives it to him, asking, Do you still trust such things? Just then, Kong Suk burns it, as Fox had told him to do whenever he calls. Then Yoon arrives and says, Oh, finally you need me, a greedy man. She says, Then Kong Suk makes a wish, and then she straight goes to the man who defrauded Kong Suk's contract. She works some magic on him, and this man then goes to meet Kong Suk's manager, meaning he accepts the contract. Here Hyan Suk is asking who the girl was. Kong Suk tells him everything, including how this girl helped him in his past accident. Meanwhile, a huge amount of money is suddenly deducted from Kong Suk's account. Yes, it was Yun's fees. Just then, the manager calls and tells him that the matter has been resolved and he's coming to Europe. After that, Kong Suk is getting ready to leave. He has arrived at the airport. Just then, Hyan Suk comes up to him and says, You asked me what my wish is? I want to play for the national team. I want to be like you. I want to have everything you are. Then Kong Suk brings it to Yoon. Yoon says, Oh, you greedy people, you're back again. But she also says that it's impossible. She can't fulfill Hyan Suk's wish, because he's a poor boy and doesn't help the poor. The beggar is speaking. Kong Suk says, I'll get you some money from somewhere. She starts running away, but Kong Suk stops her and says, Wait, you helped me in the past, right? If you need money, I'll get it. You just fix it. Fulfill his wish. She says, Okay, I'll do it. But you're kind of giving up your wish. Now, whatever he says will come true. Kong Suk starts to trigger it again. He says, It's nothing to you. Nothing is in your control, and she suddenly becomes enraged, saying, Wait, I'll tell you right now. Then we see Kong Suk leaving for Europe. Suddenly, everything shifts, and we're shown that Hyan Suk has returned to every place Kong Suk has visited. His friend, Hyan Suk, is now becoming popular. Hyan Suk had the accident in reality, but now, everything that's happening is Hyan Suk's life is now happened in Kong Suk's life. To put it simply, their lives have completely changed. In Kong Suk's place, Hyan Suk went, and in his place, he came. And then the story comes to the present where Kong Suk wakes up in poverty, and Yoon laughs at him. Yoon says, Yes, it was Hyan Suk's wish, but how can I fulfill my wish is my choice. Now Kong Suk's condition worsened, and Yoon ran away to her other clients. On the other side, Hyan Suk, seeing his life, was quite taken aback. He's in shock, and Kong Suk is confused because a bunch of guys have broken into his house and are about to take him away. Are you a drug addict? How did you hit the coach? Kong Suk is perplexed. Who are these guys? Who did I hit? And which coach are they talking about? They're forcibly picking him up and taking him away. Here Yoon had come to her new client. He's the chairman of the company, very wealthy, and one of his favorite clients because he's so rich. Meanwhile, Kong Suk's fielding is set today. He's saying, Please take me to the airport. I have to go to Europe. The guys think he's completely crazy. Meanwhile, the chairman has brought her to show her a precious item. A dagger was kept there, which has disappeared, and they're asking about it because it belonged to her. And then she tells us a story, and then we are shown a flashback where we see the same girl we saw in the beginning who was a fox. But when she fell in love with a boy, she became human and married him. They even had a child, but some time later, King's soldiers attacked them, and they were running for their lives. With one arrow, they killed a girl who was with her friend. Then they shot another arrow to kill her husband, but Yoon somehow stopped the arrow and saved them that night. Then we see her crafting a dagger. Just then, Godstar arrives, asking why she's crafting it. She tells him that her friend was attacked. Godstar replies, Yes, she's human now. This is what will happen to her. Human life is like this. They don't even kill her child. We then see her friend hiding with her husband and child. Just then, Yoon appears, holding the same dagger she had crafted. Seeing her, she tells her that if she kills her husband with this right now, she'll be a fox again, and her life will be better. But her friend says, I'm human now, so I can make a wish of yours. Will you fulfill it? She says, Yes, I will. Her friend tells her to get out of here. Don't show your face to her again. Now, they haven't met since that day. Actually, her friend was furious with her because she wondered why she would kill her husband. And that dagger, which has disappeared from everyone in this house, is the only weapon that could kill Yoon. While it wouldn't injure her, it would kill her, but now someone has taken it and run away. Meanwhile, Kang Suk is locked in a room. The coach is sitting next to him. Kang Suk asks, "Who are those guys? Why did they bring me here? They're asking me to say sorry." The coach says, "Yes, say it." Kang Suk replies, "Friend, we've met after 10 years. Neither tea nor coffee. Why should I just say sorry?" The coach says, "Don't come here after today. I'm banning you from the academy." Kang Suk says, "Come on, why are you banning me? I'm going to Europe. I'm a big player." He comes out and says, "Boys, are you pranking me?" He snatches a boy's cap and walks away. Here the cameras have been checked, so no thief had come. When Yun casts a spell on the guard tells the truth, saying that a man with long hair came in last night and took the dagger from here. And as he speaks, the guard dies because someone had cast a spell on him. Yun thought it was the work of a human, but he's no ordinary human. He's a very talented magician. On the other side, we see Mr. Lee. He's the same guy who went to jail after blowing up Hyan Suk with a car. Today, after serving his sentence for 10 years, he's being released and Yeon Gil has brought him to meet him. He's a man with long hair. You must have guessed that since he's the one with long hair, he stole the knife. Now, Mr. Lee was cursed for not telling the truth. As we know, he always told the truth. When he came to prison, he always told the truth. When the jailer asked him how much luggage each prisoner owned, what he hid, he would tell everything. Because of this, the prisoners would beat him severely in private. But Yeon Gil was also in his cell, who saved him and gave him a magic spell. After reading it, I don't know what happened. It penetrated his skin, and it was so powerful that the curse he had been given for not telling the truth was probably gone. So now Mr. Lee could have said anything. But in return, Yeon Gil had told him, "If you come out and help me, I'll come to see you." And today, finally, after so many years, Yeon Gil has come to pick him up. Mr. Lee has already forgotten about the promise and the task, but Yeon Gil reminds him, saying, "I have to catch the nine-tailed fox." Anyway, Yun is wandering around the museum. She casts a spell on a painter and tells him, "Look, there was a robbery here yesterday, and make a photo of whoever came here. I'll get you a drink." Here Kang Suk returns to his apartment, but he can't remember his password, so the others open the door and he sneaks in from the back. Then he reaches his apartment and he doesn't remember his password. He's trying to insert it, but it won't open. A woman comes out and the guard has just arrived, asking, "Who are you? Get out of here. You're stealing here?" He keeps inserting his password. He says, "Hey, I'm Kang Suk. You know me. I've lived here for so many years." He enters the house and starts looking around. The house is completely different, and he realizes that this isn't his home. Meanwhile, Yeon Gil brings Lee to a strange place. Lee asks, "What is this?" He replies, "I've set this trap to trap the fox, because I'll bring it here and kill it." Then, Yeon Gil summons a black monster dog, which Yeon Gil has created with his magic. Lee is terrified by the sight of the dog. Then Yeon Gil explains, "You're under the spell of the fox. So, my dog will find the fox by smelling your blood." Then, Yeon Gil cuts Lee's hand, causing it to bleed, and the dog begins to sniff the blood. In the next scene, we see Hyan Suk, who, upon arriving in the UK, finds the public going wild. Everyone is shouting his name. When he arrives in his van, his father is also there. Hyan Suk asks, "What are you doing here?" He replies, "My hero, son, I'll be here. Otherwise, where else would I be?" Hyan Suk calms down and says, "That's right." But poor Kang Suk, meanwhile, has been jailed for trespassing. Yun arrives and, surprised, asks, "What are you doing here?" But she first speaks to the officer, subduing him, and tells him to find out where he is. Actually, the painter has painted a picture of the dagger thief, and it's none other than Yeon Gil. And then she talks to Kang Suk, who asks what's going on. She says, "Have you still not understood anything? You're just acting smart for no reason. I've switched your destiny with your friends, and it was your wish that your friend become a national player." Kang Suk, shocked by this, asks, "Why did you do this to me?" She replies, "Because I do the same to arrogant and rude people like you." Kang Suk says, "Please put everything back to normal. I'll pay you more." She replies, "You're no longer my client. And anyway, you also wanted your friend to be as successful as you. But maybe you didn't know that when one person wants a throne, the other has to give up theirs. But there's still a way to fix everything, but I don't think it'll work." Then she brings Kang Suk to his UK home, where Hyan Suk is with his father. But they both couldn't see them there. Then Yun shows Kang Suk how Hyan Suk is incredibly happy with his life. He knows deep down that all these trophies aren't his. Yet he's happy. And despite understanding everything, he's not thinking about Kang Suk, only thinking about himself. Seeing this, Kang Suk's heart breaks. Then Yun brings him back to jail and says, "Your friend will give up his dream life and make a wish for you. Only then will you be able to return to your life. But I doubt he won't. But never mind, I'll still take you on as my client. But first, I'll have to teach you some manners." Kang Suk doesn't understand this and looks at her in surprise, wondering what she said. Manners? What else do you want to do? Yun then smiled. Next morning, we see Kang Suk in jail, feeling very cold when the officer tells him that he's been released on bail. The coach had actually arranged this, and he was talking to Kang Suk, saying, "I know you'll be thankful," but Kang Suk's attention was elsewhere. Then, when the coach said, "Okay, don't say sorry. I understand your pain, so I'll give you an opportunity to play in the 4th division in the upcoming match." Kang Suk was shocked to hear that a national player who has always played in the 1st division is being demoted to the 4th division. He started crying and left, saying, "This is something very bad happening to me." Then, we see the monster dog that had been chasing Kang Suk. In the next scene, Kang Suk calls Hyan Suk, who tells Kang Suk that he's so happy because he's truly become a national player. But when Kang Suk reveals the truth, "You're in my place," meaning our destinies have changed, Hyan Suk is shocked and asks what will happen now. Kang Suk explains that he spoke to Yun, and she says that if you wish for me, everything will be back to normal.
So, quickly look around.
There's a card there, and you have to make a wish. Hyan Suk sees that the card is there, but he lies to Kang Suk, saying, "There's no card here, and I'll talk to you later." Then, he disconnects the call, shocked that he's in Kang Suk's place, and he doesn't want to leave. Then, when he sees his father, who is requesting him to buy a new car, he asks, "Dad, are you happy?" His father replies, "Yes, I am very happy." The next scene shows a different version of Hyan Suk's life, signing a contract. He's incredibly happy. He's meeting big names he used to see on his mobile phone. His father is also happy. And now, when Hyan Suk sees such a huge stadium for the first time, tears well up in his eyes because all these things used to be his dreams. So, while he was shopping with his father and feeling incredibly happy, he suddenly got a call from Kang Suk. He said, "Please let everything be like this for 1 month, then I'll give you your life back." Then, he hung up. Kang Suk was devastated, wondering how he could do this to him, so he broke down crying on the bus. He quickly found his passport and went to the airport to meet Hyan Suk. But there, he discovered that his passport had expired, so he couldn't go anywhere. Kang Suk was even more shocked. Then Yun came in, making fun of Kang Suk and said, "I thought you two would be really good friends. But see, he abandoned you." Kang Suk asks Yun why she's doing all this. She says it's to teach him manners. And now, since Kang Suk had learned a good lesson, he stood with folded hands in front of Yun, showing respect. She says, "Okay, I feel better now because I can see the shyness in your eyes. So don't worry, I'll fix everything by tomorrow." As she leaves, Kang Suk says, "Once everything is fixed, I'll never ask this girl for a wish again, no matter what." Then we see Yeong-gil, who is also there, watching them from a distance. Then, when Kang Suk comes out to go home, he sees a car, sometimes a taxi, sometimes someone's normal car. Then, he gets into it, but it was Yeong-gil's car. Seeing so many gods inside, Kang Suk asks, "Have I gotten in the wrong place? I mean, isn't this a taxi?" Yeong-gil says, "No, you're right," and then uses his magic to knock Kang Suk unconscious. When Kang Suk wakes up after a while, he finds himself in a strange place where both Yeong-gil and Lee were. Lee checks Kang Suk's pockets, but there's no magic card. So Yeong-gil asks Kang Suk why he doesn't have the card to summon the fox. Then he explains, "It's because I'm no longer his client, but someone else is. Then call that person and bring him here, or we won't let you go." Kang Suk then repeatedly calls Hyan Suk, but when he realizes from their conversation that they're calling him here to kill him, he's shocked. Hyan Suk picks up the call, but doesn't say anything. He just hangs up. Now he thought they were calling her here to make a wish, but they're doing this to kill her, which I'll never allow. Yeong-gil says, "If you don't listen to us, we have another way to bring that girl here." Then Lee hits Kang Suk hard on the head, causing him to collapse. Meanwhile, Yun, who was preparing tea with magic at her home, suddenly felt her magic weaken, and everything fell down and broke. Yun checked her power and found the scale was shaking again, as Kang Suk's life was in danger because of Yun. So, she came to Kang Suk's rescue and told him to get up, but Kang Suk didn't respond, as he was likely about to die. Just then, Lee and Yeong-gil arrived from behind. Yeong-gil said, "Finally, we've met." Looking at Yeong-gil, she said, "You're the one whose sketch I have, that is, the shaman who stole the dagger." Yun then realized that she couldn't leave the place because she was trapped in the tracks. Yeong-gil flashed the ritual dagger, declaring, "Yes, I have it." Then, without further delay, he stabbed Yun with it. Yun was astonished, while both Lee and Yeong-gil were delighted at how easy the task was. Meanwhile, the star god, accompanied by a demon, was worried about them and declared, "Today, I am about to depart from the human world." Yeong-gil, meanwhile, was still happy, but then he discovered that the real Yun was standing behind him, and the one he had killed was just a mannequin. Yun asked, "Are you kidding me? I know you've had my background checked, but I also have your background data." Then it was shown how, with the help of the police, he had found out everything about Yeong-gil, including what type of shaman he was and where he had previously lived. So when she returned to her old house, which was in ruins, she began seeing a lot of ghosts there. She told them, "I know that shaman has done a lot of harm to you, so tell me all about his strengths and weaknesses. In return, I'll free you from here." Hearing these words in the present, Yeong-gil was shocked. Then, Yun demonstrated her power. She had previously picked up Lee and thrown him away, having escaped the trap. Yeong-gil asked, "What will you do now? Will you kill me?" Yun replied, "You know you have very little time left, and I don't want to become human by killing a human." Then, she banished them both from there and left them on a road far away. Then, when she came to Kang Suk, she was displeased to learn that Kang Suk had been kidnapped because of her. Also, the way blood was gushing from Kang Suk's head, it was almost as if he was about to die. That meant there were only a few seconds left. Seeing this, without a second thought, she quickly healed Kang Suk before he died. Who knows? Kang Suk might have already been killed, but she saved Kang Suk's life because the kidnapping happened because of Yun. Then he looks at her and asks if she's okay and where those two men are. Yun raises her dagger, wondering if she might have killed them, but she tells him, "I can't kill anyone. You know this very well." She apologizes to Kang Suk for kidnapping him because of her. She also tells him that starting tomorrow morning, his life will be back to normal, meaning he'll be a national player again. He's happy about this, but suddenly, she feels a sharp pain in her body. Her energy has been drained from her, slowly breaking down, and then it finally breaks, leaving her speechless and unconscious. Now she becomes human. She begins to see visions of how she went to visit her friend at her last moments when she was very old and had lost her memory. "See what you've gained by being human? You're so weak now, your husband has left you," she says. "I regret not calling me for help even once in all those years. I've come to see you in your last moments myself," because her family started arriving when she lost her memory, so she disappears. Then, when she learns that her friend has died, everyone starts crying bitterly. She was from a distance, so she only uttered a single word, "I will never become human again." Now at present, as soon as Yun wakes up and asks how she's here, Kang Suk tells her, "You fainted, so I brought you here." Yun tries to close the lock, but it doesn't. Remembering the night before, and how her crystal broke, she screams, "Have I really become a human?" She tries again and again to restore her powers, but nothing happens. She starts fighting, saying, "This is all because of you. I saved your life." Here we see Lee and Yeong-gil. They stay in one place, and from now on, they say, "From now on, we'll stay apart." Distressed, Lee pleads, "Please don't leave me, or that fox will kill me." But he doesn't listen to him and leaves. Here Yun is still deeply troubled about how she can finally become a human. "God hasn't treated me well. I admit I've done some bad things, but I'm sorry." He calms her down, saying, "Humans aren't as bad as you seem. You're reacting like you've turned into a monster. Tell me, you said my life would be back to normal by morning, but why hasn't it happened yet?" She replies, "Are you stupid? I've been telling you for so long that I've become a human, which means I don't have my powers, and because of that, you'll always be like this, meaning you won't be able to go back to your life," she says. He cries even louder, "No, this can't happen. Try to fix everything somehow. Your actions are very wrong." Then, she takes a taxi to the temple for the first time and is surprised by how slow it goes. Actually, she's used to magically traveling everywhere in a second. After reaching the temple, she comes to know that the person she's looking for left last night. Then we're shown the two of them talking. "That star god had asked me to give it to you, inside which there was an ID with a funny name. Before leaving, Star God had understood that Yun has also become a human now, and they knew that Yun will come to fight them, so they left from here first. Now Yun got more angry, so much, so that she starts pouring petrol outside the temple so that she can set it on fire. They tried a lot to stop her, but she did not stop. Kang Suk picks her up, but now, because of this act, the people there do not let both of them go. Instead, they put them in jail. Here, Kang Suk tells her that now you will be able to come out only by tomorrow morning. Then, when she remembered his ritual dagger, which she had left at the place, she begged him to bring it back, saying, "Please bring me my dagger back. It's a matter of my life. That's the only way I can become a fox again." At first, he refused to go, fearing a move, but after her repeated requests, he returned to the place with his friends, all football players. They all understood why they had brought us here. Now the place was empty, meaning there was no trace of shaman there, and neither was the dagger. He had come all this way to retrieve it, so he was quite surprised. That morning, she was feeling very cold when she was told she had been released. She had been released, but now she was worried about how to contact Yun. Did he leave me here? Now she was feeling very hungry, but just then Kang Suk arrives there. Seeing him, she became overjoyed and said, "I thought you had left me." He replied, "Why would I do that to you? I need you anyway." He replied, "I couldn't find it, and the place was completely empty." Yun wondered how this could be possible since I left Yonggil far away. He couldn't have come back so quickly and taken everything. Who cleaned the place? The two then went out to eat, where Kang Suk explained, "Now they're going to the mountains because I found another fox like you." Yun replied, "That's impossible, because I'm the only fox left in the world." Then Kang Suk recounts the night before, how he found a newspaper at the place that mentioned a couple he'd found a fox on the mountain who had helped him. Later, he went to meet them, who told him, "Yes, it's true. When we were young, we got lost on the mountain. So she helped us, but people don't believe it. We've heard that Fox has helped many other people as well. Currently, they don't believe them, but they decide to go up the mountain. When they arrive in the evening to go up the mountain, everyone is leaving after hiking before dark. Everyone is puzzled as to why these two are going up at this time. Occasionally, some people are offering them food and drinks. Why are people giving us something? Then, after a long walk, everyone stops them and takes them away, questioning them. "Why are you two going there so late at night? We've received reports that you two are going to commit suicide," they say. The two are surprised. "It's nothing like that, but now we'll have to climb it." The officer is then surprised as to why these two have to go back up the same mountain after all that walking. Well, they now decide to eat something, but she was unable to walk at all because she was very tired from walking, so she got angry and said that, "I hate the human body. I am not even able to eat anything from it." So the one who was noticing all this extended his hand to feed her food, surprising her because it was the first time when someone was caring for her so much, feeding her with so much love. So she happily started eating food. Now both of them had become good friends. After that, when he came after paying the bill, he saw that she was asleep. So he sat there and started looking at her very carefully and said that she looks lovely when she is calm. Then once again Yun dreams that she is in such a place where someone has stabbed a dagger in my heart, and that person is none other than Kang Suk. She woke up in shock. Kang Suk asks, "What happened?" She said, "You lied to me, saying you don't have the dagger." To which Kang Suk replied, "I really don't have the dagger." Then she said, "I'm no longer a nine-tailed fox. So how can I see the future? Whatever I saw, it must be a dream." Finally, she calmed down a bit, so they took a room and stayed there. Now she was remembering the dream, how she saw Kang Suk and how he stabbed her. Then, as she was coming out, she was utterly shocked to see the knife in Kang Suk's hand. So she asked, "What are you doing?" Kang Suk said, "Why are you scared? I brought this knife to cut the apple. I don't know what's wrong with you." Then, as he sat down to cut it, she lay down right there. He said, "Your condition doesn't look like you'll be able to hike again tomorrow morning." When he started applying pain remover to her foot, she was surprised. "What are you doing?" He told her, "This will give you some relief." So she offered her other foot and asked him to apply it to that too. She seemed to be enjoying what she saw. Then the scene cut, and we were shown her sleeping. When she woke up, she realized Kang Suk wasn't there. Then she comes out and asked, "What are you doing?" He explained, "It's been a long time dream of watching stars while drinking soda. So I'm here because ever since I became a star, I haven't been able to fulfill these small dreams." He then asked her, "You've been living here alone for years. It must have been hard for you, living alone like that." She says, "It was difficult, but with my friend who used to be with me, I never felt lonely. We had a lot of fun together and took care of each other. But then she became human. After that, he made her wear his jacket so she wouldn't feel cold. But then she started asking, "Are you flirting with me because I'm so beautiful?" Then he said, "It's cold, so I gave you my jacket. If you don't want it, give it back." But she refused, saying, "No, I like it warm." Then they started looking at the stars together. On the other side, we are shown Hyan Suk lovingly looking at the trophy with his name on it. His father asked, "Why haven't you slept?" He replied, "It's because I'm afraid this beautiful dream of mine might be shattered. I'm also afraid that I'll go back to my life after some time, but father doesn't understand these things." The next morning, we see the two of them ready to go hiking, so they're heading with everyone. She told that if they want to get lost, they'll have to go in a different direction. Only then will the fox come to their aid. Then the two go in different directions. Then Yoon is about to fall, but he saves her. They look at each other in surprise, both of them full of attraction. But then they move away, and then they become very happy, thinking that there's no one here, so now they'll sit and rest. But then they hear a noise and realize that there are already a lot of people here, so they're forced to walk further. Then, just like that, it becomes night. They sit somewhere and say, "I don't know when the fox will come to help us." She was asleep, but Kang Suk wouldn't let her sleep, saying, "You'll die of freezing cold." With trembling hands, he started feeding her a toffee, asking, "Well, I'm also dying from the cold." Then, the thought crossed their minds. Are people making up a rumor that there's a fox here? It doesn't seem like it. He then said, "Well, the news was quite old, and I wonder if she'd become a human like you, irritated by all this." They both decided to leave, but while Kang Suk was checking the map, it fell from his hands. He also fell, injuring his leg. He said, "I can't move at all." Yoon then told him to check the network, but the phone went dead, leaving them both perplexed. They were sitting in the camp, wondering what they were going to do. Then they heard a voice. It was a girl, and she asked if they needed help. Yoon was overjoyed that Fox had arrived. But when she saw the girl, she was utterly shocked, as the girl is none other than her friend Jin Ho. She starts crying, "You're here, even though I thought you were dead." But when Jin Ho asks, "Who are you? Do you know me?" she becomes even more shocked and realizes that this can't be her friend. She only looks like her. Jin Ho reveals that she's a fox and lives here farming. Then she bluntly tells Star God, "Are you playing a game with me? You're deliberately playing a joke on me?" Jin Ho tries to stop her, telling her not to go any further, as there's danger ahead. But she doesn't listen to anyone and continues walking. When she gets too far, she narrowly escapes falling into a ditch. Then she once again starts blabbering to Star God, "You're doing this on purpose. How is it possible that I suddenly turn human, and when I meet another fox, she looks like my friend? I know this girl can't be my friend. She just looks like her. If you're challenging me, I'm sure I won't give up until I turn back into a fox." Meanwhile, Kang Suk, unable to walk due to his injuries, then Jin Ho heals his injuries with her magic. Then he searches for Yoon, and when he finds her, he asks if she's okay. She doesn't answer, saying, "Take me home." In the next scene, we see them in Jin Ho's house, where she is living. She's happy that guests are coming to her house today, so she disappears. She goes to get food for them both. After Jin Ho leaves, Kang Suk asks her what happened to her with this girl that made her cry. She explains, "I told you about my friend. This girl looks like her, but she's not my friend. The star gods are messing with me, so I won't let them go." Kang Suk seemed confused. He said, "Just send me back to my life first, then you'll be the one." I didn't bother with this fox. Just then, Jin Ho returns and brings them a lot of leaves for dinner. She asks, "Are you crazy? Do you eat all this?" But Kang Suk replies, "You must be a vegetarian." But Yoon says, "I'm not supposed to eat this." Kang Suk says, "I also follow my diet, so you're like me," but even that he can't eat all these leaves. She asks, "Don't you eat meat?" She replies, "I tried hunting, but then I became friends with all the animals, and now that I've been here for years, I can't kill my friends, so I've become a vegetarian." Kang Suk then tells her, "I came here looking for you. Actually, I have a wish to fulfill with you." Here we are shown Hyan Suk when suddenly, first his bag disappears, then his watch. Then, gradually, things around the house start disappearing, but the next moment, everything is back to normal, so Hyan Suk gets worried about what's going on. He tries to call Kang Suk, but his mobile is switched off. Then we are shown how Jin Ho is trying hard to do magic so that she fulfills Kang Suk's wish, but she does not send him back in his life. She says, "This is my first time." Hearing this, he holds her hand and says, "Look, please don't say this. Try again. You can do it. He tried to motivate her for a long time, but it was of no use. Her spiritual power is low. He requests Yun to please teach her how to do magic, but she says that even then she will not be able to do it. It seems that he even started crying. Then he started fighting with Yun that all this is happening because of you. Just then, Jin-ho told both of them that actually, I am not a 9-tailed fox, but an 8-tailed fox. I've been meaning to tell you both this for a while, but you're not listening to me. Kang Suk asks what an 8-tailed fox is, to which Yun replies, do you know what a 9-tailed fox is? Kang Suk says, no. Then she replies, then why are you asking as if you know everything? And then she tells him that when a fox does a lot of research, which gradually increases her abilities, then the fox gains tails and becomes a 9-tailed fox. But the one with 8 tails means she still needs training and intense meditation. Then they both see how Jin-ho has only 8 tails. Here, Kang Suk starts counting them over and over again. Then Jin-ho asks Yun, how do you know so much about us? She tells her, it's because a few days ago, I was also a fox, but now I'm human. Then she tells Yun that this means you are the one I was waiting for. She asks what it means. Then Jin-ho tells her that Mountain God had told me that after 200 years, such a fox would appear here. Then she will fulfill my wish, but it will only take 100 years. She then requests Yun, please fulfill my wish. Yun says, well, I want to be the fox you've been waiting for, but tell me, what is that wish of yours? Then Jin-ho explains, I want to be human. Hearing this, Yun is shocked that why does a fox need a useless human life? Well, the scene cuts off. And now we see Lee. His assistant asks, sir, why are you changing hotels every day? He replies, it's because of a 9-tailed fox. She must be looking for me. He then asks, did you search for the 9-tailed fox, which I told you to do? Assistant tells him, yes, sir, but there's no such thing as a 9-tailed fox. Next morning, when Kang Suk wakes up, he asks Yun, where did that nice fox go? She asks, what do you mean by I'm the bad fox and she's the good fox? Kang Suk says, no, that's not what I meant. She tells him she's gone out and gets ready. We're leaving. Kang Suk says, but let her come back. We should say goodbye and thank her. But Yun refuses, saying, no, we shouldn't. Then, we see them both in the car, where Kang Suk still insists we should at least say goodbye to that good fox. And how much time will we have spent with her? Then, we are shown a night scene where Jin-ho had told her about a wish that she wanted to become a human, and then she told her about his sister's story. Yun scolded her severely, saying, there's nothing in being human. She also told her, don't come in front of me again with this face. Now, at present, Kang Suk asks, what will you do now? She says, I have some old books that I can read and find a solution. Then, suddenly, the car broke down, so both of them came out. Yun told him to get it repaired, but he told her that, actually, I don't have money because I have forgotten my wallet in Fox's house by mistake. Then, she saw a car going from which she asked for a lift, but that car went ahead. Then she got very angry and said that when I become Fox again, then the first thing I will do is teach this man a lesson. After that, they start walking, and there she is telling him that I will need money sometime, so please help me. Kang Suk says, 1 minute you have a lot of money, and where is that money which you had taken from me as a fee? She says that yes, I have all my money, but it is all at my house. Hearing this, he is happy and says, let's go to your house. Give me some money too. She tells him that, but my house is on the mountain. Kang Suk says, no problem. We will climb the biggest mountain for money. But when she tells him that my house is in North Korea, then Kang Suk gets shocked and he starts scolding her that why did you take a house so far away? Then she says that because I was born there and unfortunately, I cannot go there without power, then only her head gets stiff. Kang Suk tells that all this is happening because of sunlight. Then she sees an umbrella lying there, which she picks up and asks him to hold. And then like this, both of them kept moving forward while talking, but they were also very tired. Here, we see Jin-ho upset that they left without saying goodbye. Now I'm alone again. When she notices someone, and it's Kang Suk's wallet. Then, someone comes there, but it's none other than Star God. Here, we see that someone has given them a lift, and they're both happy. She says, this man is really nice for helping us. When I become Fox again, I'll win him a lottery ticket so he can become rich. He then adds, and I'll give him a free VIP ticket to my biggest match, so he can enjoy it. Then he asks her, you must have many other wealthy clients. Why aren't you asking them for help? She replies, it's because I know how greedy people are. If they find out I'm no longer Fox, they might do something wrong to me because they're all just as super rich and powerful. He says, just let it be. You must have bullied them into bowing to you like me. That's why you're scared. Yun says, you don't yet fully understand the worth of rich people. Then, we see Kang Suk's friends who are worried about Kang Suk's whereabouts. His mobile is also switched off and he's taken their car. Just then, a truck passes by them, carrying Kang Suk. Then, they both reach Kang Suk's house, but are surprised to see Hyan Suk there, who had returned from abroad to meet Kang Suk. Then, the three of them are upstairs, where Hyan Suk is surprised to see Yun here too. She asks, why do I feel like you're not happy to see me here? Hyan Suk interrupts and pleads, please let me live my life for a week. I feel good like this. Then Kang Suk says, okay, you can live my life for a week. Well, I'm glad I was able to make you happy with this excuse. But when I ask you to switch lives, you have to go quietly for this. Hearing this, Hyan Suk gets happy and starts thanking him, and also accepts it. Just then, Jin Ho comes here, calling Yun her elder sister. She says that I have found a solution to your problem. Yun hints to her that she should not tell anything yet because Hyan Suk was also there. But she tells that now you can become Fox again, and your friend can also go back to his life. Hearing this, Kang Suk was most surprised and wondered whether I can really go back to my life. But even more surprised than both of them is Hyan Suk to know that this girl is no longer Fox. And with this scene, the part 1 of this amazing drama ends here.